Iraq's economy, politics, and security. Key updates on the Al-Sudani and Austin call. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel, your trusted source for updates on Iraq's economy, politics, and international affairs. Today, we're diving into a crucial phone conversation that recently took place between Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia Al-Sudani and U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. Their discussion covered regional security issues, developments in Syria, and the state of Iraq's economy. Let's break it down and explore what this means for Iraq's future. A strategic discussion on regional security. On Sunday evening, Prime Minister Al-Sudani and Secretary Austin engaged in a dialogue concerning the evolving security situation in the Middle East, including Syria and the broader regional stability. A major takeaway from their discussion was the mutual commitment of both nations to maintaining peace and security in the region. The United States reaffirmed its continued support for Iraq's security and long-term stability, emphasizing the importance of strategic cooperation between the two countries. But why is this so significant? The geopolitical landscape in the Middle East is shifting rapidly. One name that continues to surface in discussions is former U.S. President Donald Trump. Whether one supports or opposes him, it's undeniable that his influence is shaping regional dynamics. Particularly, tensions surrounding Iran are escalating, with speculation that the U.S. might take decisive actions to counter Iran's influence in the region. Iraq, positioned at the heart of these geopolitical tensions, finds itself navigating a complex situation. Iraq's oil industry. Challenges and reforms. One of Iraq's biggest economic challenges remains the management of its oil industry. Over the years, inefficient resource management has cost the country billions of dollars. However, there are growing discussions about revamping Iraq's approach to its oil sector, exploring new strategies to maximize revenue. A significant shift is anticipated, with Iraq looking to introduce a more precise and efficient system for oil valuation. This change could help the country secure better returns on its vast oil reserves and reduce financial mismanagement. Another key factor in Iraq's oil industry is the influence of various militia groups, particularly those with links to Iran. These groups exert considerable control over the country's oil production and distribution, making it difficult for the government to implement necessary reforms. However, there are signs that major changes are coming, with increased pressure on Iraq to enhance transparency, accountability, and efficiency in the oil sector. Iraq's foreign reserves and currency policy. Despite the challenges, Iraq's financial reserves remain strong. According to the Prime Minister's economic advisor, Mohammed, the country's foreign exchange reserves are currently estimated at around $110 billion. These reserves consist of gold, US dollars, and a mix of other foreign currencies, placing Iraq in a relatively strong financial position compared to many neighboring countries. One of the government's primary economic goals is to reduce its dependency on the US dollar for domestic trade and encourage the use of the Iraqi Dinar. This shift aims to strengthen Iraq's financial sovereignty and enhance the value of its national currency in global markets. However, while Iraq's foreign reserves appear stable, the country still faces numerous economic challenges, particularly in dealing with external financial pressures. To address these issues, the government is actively working with international financial institutions to ease restrictions on foreign currency transactions, which have historically created obstacles for Iraq's economic progress. Tax reforms and the push for privatization. Iraq's parliament is also playing a more active role in addressing the country's fiscal policies. A major focus has been on strengthening tax collection mechanisms, which are currently weak. The Parliamentary Finance Committee recently emphasized the urgent need for reforms to improve tax revenue collection. there is a strong belief that Iraq could significantly boost its state revenues if it fully utilizes its financial resources, particularly by enforcing a structured and efficient tax collection system. Many policymakers and economic experts argue that privatization could be a key strategy in achieving this goal. By shifting government-run industries and services to private ownership, Iraq could reduce the burden on the state while creating a more competitive and productive economy. However, this transition is not without risks. There are concerns about how privatization could impact the working class and whether it might lead to economic disparities. Despite these worries, proponents believe that privatization is a necessary step toward fiscal sustainability.